Gryffindor common room was very noisy that evening. Harry, Ron, and Hermione sat together next to a window. Hermione was checking Harry and Ron's charms homework for them. She would never let them copy. How would you learn? But by asking her to read it through, they got the right answers anyways. Harry felt restless. He wanted Quidditch through the ages back to take his mind off his nerves about tomorrow. Why shouldn't he be afraid of Snape? Getting up, he told Ron and Hermione he was going to ask Snape if he could have it. Better you than me, they said together, but Harry had an idea that Snape wouldn't refuse if there were the other teachers listening. He made his way down to the staff room and knocked. There was no answer. He knocked again. Nothing. Perhaps Snape had left the book in there. It was worth a try. He pushed the door ajar and peered inside, and a horrible scene met his eyes. Okay, so in this passage, I don't think there are very hard vocabulary. So if you don't understand a word, you can just type it in the chat or like unmute and just tell me if you okay. And then I think so this section just tells us that a little bit about what the three does like every day, and then it goes directly into the plot starting from here, like what Harry feels, and then what he wants to do. Like right now he wants to get his book back from Snape. Just a little recap. So okay, welcome. Someone else joined. Okay, and then right here it says that he discovered something probably he shouldn't have. So does anybody want to read? Anybody want to read starting from Snape and Filch? You can just unmute. If not, I'll call on someone. Or yeah, wait, actually, I'll just read a little more. Yeah. Okay, so Snape and Filch were inside alone. Snape was holding his robes above his knees. One of his legs was bloody and mangled. So does anybody know what mangled means? Like a rough idea of what mangled means. Oh, okay. So mangled is like ugly looking, like if you imagine someone wounded, it'd be like really ugly and blood. Okay. Yeah, that's what mangled means. Okay. And then Filch was handing Snape bandages. Blasted thing, Snape was saying. How are you supposed to keep your eyes on all three heads at once? So, okay. Harry tried to shut the door quietly, but Potter! Snape's face was twisted with fury as he dropped his robes quickly to hide his leg. Harry gulped. I just wondered if I could have my book back. Get out! Get out! Harry left before Snape could take any more points from Gryffindor. He sprinted back upstairs. Okay, so I finished right here. So this part just says what Harry discovers, and he discovers Snape and Filch bandaging Snape's bloody leg that was injured, and then they were talking about something about three heads, and this probably refers back to the three-headed dog that Harry, Hermione, and Ron discovered. Oh, wait, so I'm too quiet. Hold on, let me change the settings. Hello? Let me. Hello? Okay, there we go. Okay, well, did everybody hear? Okay, is it better now? I think it is.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay.
I was the one who asked.
Yeah. Thank you. So did everybody hear this section that I just read?
I'm just a little bit late.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so just to recap, Harry wants his Quidditch for the Ages back, that book. He wants it back from Snape, who took it from him. And then he goes to get it, but he sees Snape talking to Filch, and they were like bandaging his bloody knee, and they were talking about like a three-headed thing. And now Snape sees Harry, and then Harry flees. But now he knows that Snape knows what that three-headed thing was, and Harry knows what it is too. Okay, so does anybody else want to read? Starting from, did you get it right here? Does anybody want to read? Michael, you want to read? Okay.
Okay. Did you get it? Ron asked as Harry joined them. What's the matter? In a low whisper, Harry told them what he'd seen. You know what this means? He finished breathlessly. He tried to get past the three-headed dog at Halloween. That's where he was going when we saw him. He's after whatever it's guarding. And I bet my broomstick he let that throw in to make a diversion. Hermione's eyes were wide. No, he wouldn't, she said. I know he's not very nice, but he wouldn't try and steal something Dumbledore was keeping safe. Honestly, Hermione, do you think all teachers are saints or something? Snapped Ron. I'm with Harry. I wouldn't put anything past Snape. But what's he after? What's that dog guarding? Harry went into bed with his head buzzing with the same question. The bell was snoring loudly, but Harry couldn't sleep. He tried to empty his mind. He needed to sleep. He had to. He had his first Quidditch match in a few hours, but the expression on Snape's face when Harry had seen his leg wasn't easy to forget. The next morning dawned very bright and cold. The great hall was full of the delicious smell of fried sausage and the cheerful chatter of everyone looking forward to a good Quidditch match. You've got to eat
Oh, do you want to read?
some
Oh, sorry.
breakfast. I don't want anything, just a bit of toast. Eat it, Hermione. I'm not hungry. Harry felt terrible. In an hour's time, he'd been walking into the field. Can I continue?
Do you want to continue? Or do you want to stop here?
Stop here.
Okay, so vocabulary diversion. Does everybody know like what diversion means?
No.
Okay, do you
No.
want to guess what it means? Like,
I don't know what.
okay, so he said, I bet my broomstick, which means certainly, I know certainly that Snape let that troll in. So what does the troll do? The troll makes a diversion, and then a diversion is basically how do I say this? Like, so you want to do something like sneakily, yeah, but you don't want the other person to be where you are while you're doing that. Like you want to like take a book or something. So you cause a scene somewhere else. That is called a diversion. So do you understand it now? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And then I think wheedled is a little weird. Wheedle is just saying like how they say something. It's like a really I don't actually know the exact definition, but it's like saying something essentially. Okay. So here's always the one. Clawbird, I think. Clawbird is like getting like teased or like taunted, kind of, because Quidditch is like a sport, and then like that's what people do like to the other team. Okay, and then so like okay, so what happened here was Harry tells Ron and Hermione about what happened before with Filch and Snape, and so they, since Ron and Hermione know that they, because they've seen the three-headed dog, they were like, they also kind of agree with Dumbledore, except for Ron agrees with, wait, did I say Dumbledore? Okay. Ron agrees with Harry, but Hermione doesn't, it doubts what Harry says right here, like wait, okay, sorry, right here. And then they talk about it, and then they go back to talking about their daily life right here, and it just doesn't mention Snape anymore. And over breakfast, and then that's about it. And then it's a Quidditch match. Okay. So you ended right here. Okay. So does anybody else want to read? Andy? Okay, go on. And it's right here. Harry, you need your strength.
Harry, you need your strength, said Seamus, flanking seeker, always the one who got clobbered by the other team. Thanks, Seamus, said Harry, watching Seamus pile ketchup on his sausage. By 11 o'clock, the whole school seemed to be out in the stands around the Quidditch pitch. Many students had binoculars. The seats might be raised high in the air, but it was so difficult to see what was going on sometimes. Ron and Hermione joined Neville, Seamus, and Dean. Then the West Ham fan up in the top row. As a surprise for Harry, they had painted a large banner on one of the sheets. Scarborough had ruined. It said Harry. It had Potter for president, and Dan, who was good at drawing, had done a large Gryffindor lying underneath. Then Hermione had performed a tricky little charm, so that the paint flashed different colors. Meanwhile, the locker room, Harry and the rest of the team were changing into their scarlet Quidditch robes. Slytherin would be playing green. Wood cleared his throat for silence. Okay, man, he said. Then the woman said Chaser Angelina Jonathan, and woman would agree this is the big one, said Fred Weasley. The one we've all been waiting for, said George. We know all of our speech by heart, Fred told Harry. We were on the team last year. Okay?
Okay, so you're gonna stop here. Okay, so went too far. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, so what Andy just read was before the Quidditch match. Oh, I always love the Quidditch matches. Okay, so before the Quidditch match, they're talking about right here. So his friends encourages Harry, and they go to the Quidditch pitch, and so they talk about how his friends are cheering for Harry. And so, for example, they had a large banner, and then they drew a lion, and Hermione did her magic. Okay, and then And then Wood gives them a pep talk, which was really short. It was just basically about how they want to beat Slytherin because, Gryffindor and Slytherin, like, they're kind of rivals, like, yeah, friendly rivals, And so that's what Wood tells the team about. And then they had like a little conversation right here, which is a little humorous because Fred makes a comment about how Oliver always gives the same speech each year, and that's what this right here means. Okay, and then so right here, okay, does anybody want to read? I can also, okay. Michael, you want to read again?
Okay.
Okay.
Shut up, you two, said Wood. This is the best team Gryffindor's had in years. We're going to win. I know it. He glared at them all as if to say, or else. Right, it's time. Good luck, all of you. Harry followed Fred and George out of the locker room and, hoping his knees weren't going to give way, walking onto the field to loud cheers. Madam Hooch was refereeing. She stood in the middle of the field, waiting for the two teams, her broom in her hand. Now, I want a nice fair game, all of you, she said, once they were all gathered around her. Harry noticed that she seemed to be speaking particularly to the Slytherin captain, Marcus Flint, a sixth year. Harry thought Flint looked as if he had some true blood in him. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the fluttering banner high above, flashing Potter for president over the crowd. His heart skipped. He felt braver. Mount your brooms, please. Where Harry clambered onto his Nimbus 2000. Madam Hooch gave a loud blast on her silver whistle. 15 brooms rose up high into the air. They were off, and the quaffle is taken immediately by Angelina Johnson of Gryffindor. What an excellent chaser that girl is. Jordan! Sorry, Professor. The Weasley twins' friend, B. Jordan, was doing the commentary for the match. Closely watched by McGonagall.
Okay, we're gonna stop here. My internet is a little chunky. So sorry if it like cuts out a little bit. Okay, so now okay, so some vocabulary, particularly. So is everybody familiar with particularly? If not, just raise your hand.
I'm okay.
You're okay? Okay. James? Okay. I'll explain. Okay, so particularly means that especially like she seems to be speaking particularly to, so like not to everybody in general, but specifically to Marcus Flint. So it also says that Harry, so that's what particularly means. It's like especially. Yeah. Okay, so Marcus Flint, they describe what Marcus Flint looked like. So it said that Harry thought Flint looked as if he had some troll blood in him. That's to describe him as like menacing, like scary, and kind of ugly, because like trolls are kind of ugly and they're kind of dumb. Yeah. So, okay, James, do you have a question, or did you just, I forgot to lower your hand. Okay. Okay, so here we start the Quidditch match, and then Harry was like a little nervous at the beginning because like he didn't really eat, and then Seamus had to like encourage him to eat some food. But now he got a little braver because he saw the banner that his friends drew for him. And so starting the match, Harry feels pretty confident in himself. Okay, and then right here we have Jordan commentary. So does everybody know what a commentary is? No? Okay, so a commentary is basically, okay, so a commentary is what an announcer says, and they like talk about what happened during the game. So they describe what happens. So like right here, it says the quaffle is taken immediately by Angelina Johnson. So he's describing what is happening with the quaffle, and he probably also describes what happens with the snitch, but not right now. So that's a commentary is really common in sports. Like someone would usually do a commentary on the sport. And in here it's Quidditch. Okay, so I'll read this giant paragraph about the commentary. This is a commentary by Jordan. Okay, and also Jordan is a humorous character. I think he's really funny, and he makes the Quidditch matches really interesting. Okay, so I'll start again. And she's really belting along up there. A neat pass to Alicia Spinnet. A good find of Oliver Woods last year, only a reserve. Back to Johnson, and no, the Slytherins have taken the quaffle. Slytherin Captain Marcus Flint gains the quaffle, and off he goes. Flint flying like an eagle up there. He's going to no, stopped by an excellent move by Gryffindor. Keeper Wood and the Gryffindors take the quaffle. That's Chaser Katie Bell of Gryffindor there. Nice dive around Flint, up the field, and ouch, that must have hurt. Hit in the back of the head by a bludger. Quaffle taken by the Slytherins. That's Adrian Pusey. Speeding off towards the goal posts, but he's blocked by a second bludger sent his way by Fred or George Weasley. Can't tell which. Nice play by the Gryffindor beater. Anyway, and Johnson back in possession of the quaffle, a clear field ahead, and off she goes. She's really flying. Dodges a speeding bludger. The goalposts are ahead. Come on now, Angelina. Keeper Bletchy dives, misses. Gryffindor score. Okay, so that's a little of what a commentary is. So it's usually really fast. I'm sorry if you couldn't really keep up. This is just a describing what happens during, it describes the whole thing, and that's like the job of an announcer. They do a commentary, and then this is basically a great example of it, and then it has a little bit of Jordan's personality in it, and you can tell by his like tone of voice and how he says things. And he has he like this ouch right here, like that shows that he's kind of a humorous person. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to go back and read that like slower. So I read it like how a person who's doing a commentary on the game would read it, because it would be really fast. Like when you pass, like if you think about it, when you pass the quaffle to someone, it'd be really fast, right? And then yeah, so that's how the speed of the Quidditch game is going. Okay, so does anybody want to read starting from here? Gryffindor cheers. Does anybody want to read? No. Okay. Nobody wants to read. I'll read. Okay. So Gryffindor.
I want.
You want to read, James? You want to read? Okay, go ahead. Read from Gryffindor. Cheers.
Gryffindor cheers filled the cold air with howls and moans from the Slytherins. Budge up there, move along. Hagrid. Ron and Hermione squeezed together to give Hagrid enough space to join them. Been watching from me, but hut, said Hagrid, patting a large pair of binoculars around his neck. But isn't the name as Bane in the crowd? No sign of the snake. Nope, said Ron. Harry hasn't had much to do yet. Get out of trouble. So that's something, said Hagrid, raising his binoculars and appearing skyward at the speck that was Harry. Way up above him, gliding over the game, squinting about some sign of the snitch was part of his and the woods game plan. Keep out of the way until you catch sight of the snitch, Wood had said. We don't want you attacked before you have to be. When Adelina had scored, Harry had a couple of loop-the-loops left of his feelings. Now he was back to staring around for the snitch. Once he caught sight of a flash of gold, but it was just a reflection from wristwatches, and once a bludger decided to come his way, more like a cannonball than anything. But Harry dodged it, and Fred Weasley came chasing after it. All right there, Harry, he had time to yell as he beat the bludger furiously toward Marcus Flint. Slytherin in possession, Lee Jordan was saying. Chaser Percy ducks two bludgers, two Weasleys, and Chaser Ball, and speeds toward the. Wait a minute. Was that the snitch? A murmur ran through the crowd as Adrian Pussy dropped the quaffle, too busy looking over his shoulder at the flash of gold that passed his left ear. Harry saw it. In a great rush of excitement, he dived downward after the streak of gold. Slytherin seeker Terence Higgs had seen it too. Neck and neck, they hurtled toward the snitch. All the chasers seemed to have forgotten what they were supposed to be doing as they hung in mid-air to watch. Harry was faster than Higgs. He could see the little round ball, wings fluttering, darting up ahead. He put on an extra spurt of speed. Wow! A roar of rage echoed from the Gryffindors below. Marcus Flint had blocked Harry on purpose, and Harry's broom spun off course. Harry holding on for dear life. "Hold!" screamed the Gryffindors.
Okay. Thank you, James, for reading. Okay, so basically, what happens is Hagrid comes and watches the game, and then they start describing the Quidditch match again. Okay, and so they were talking about, so starting with Slytherin, they were like talking about how it goes back and forth between Gryffindor and Slytherin, the Quaffle, and they and then after that there was the snitch that they see the snitch in, and Harry and the Slytherin seeker also saw it, so they try to get it, but then Flint had blocked Harry, and that was caused a foul. So does anybody know what a foul is?
Nope.
You don't? Does anybody know and want to tell James what a foul is? Or do you all not know what a foul is? Okay, it's a sports term. Well, usually a sports term. So a foul is when you do something wrong in a game. And so basically, yeah, when you, okay, Xunhao, okay, yeah, you can go to the bathroom. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically a foul is when you do something wrong or against the rules in a game. And that's what Marcus Flint did. He went and blocked Harry, and then Harry had spun out of control, and that's what happened. Okay, so that was a little bit of the Quidditch match. Okay, I want to ask, was this the first Quidditch match that Harry was in? Is this the first Quidditch match that Harry was in? Because I picked this up in the middle of the book. I think this is. Okay. Because Harry. So, does anybody want to say how do you think Harry feels when Marcus Flint crashes into him? So, can anybody like raise your hand and answer? So how do you think Harry feels?
I think he is afraid
Huh? Why do you think he's afraid?
because he might crash into his broom.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and Michael had something. Michael.
Depressed and angry
Yeah. Why? Why do you think he'd be?
because he may lose the game because the other seeker may catch the golden ball.
The snitch. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think you're all right. I want to add on. I also think he would be angry and afraid because like it's up to him because he's the seeker to end the game or the other seeker to end the game. But when you get the snitch, remember you get a large amount of points. I don't remember exactly, it's like 100 or something points. And that makes a really big difference during the Quidditch game. So if Harry gets injured because of Flint, then their team would lose a really important player, and Harry would feel like, oh, I let my team down because I got injured or something like that. And also he's kind of afraid of Marcus Flint because before we talked about how Harry described Marcus Flint as like a really like he had troll blood or something. And we know that they've seen a troll like during Halloween, they've seen a troll and they were pretty afraid of that troll. So that is a little connection there to Flint and then like the troll. Yeah. And so yes, both of you are right. He is afraid and angry and sad, basically. Because like Flint is the one who caused him to almost fall off his broom. Okay, so okay, okay. So I'm just want to ask someone to what did we read today? Like, can you give us like can someone give us like a little summary of what we read? Like, does anybody want to like recap? Um, okay, I'll just tell y'all. Okay, yeah, just to like, oh, James, you want to like tell us what we read today? Just like a little short summary.
Yes. We read the start of the Quidditch match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what was before that? Like, what happened before the Quidditch match?
They got ready for the Quidditch match.
And remember, we started reading in the Gryffindor common room. And then remember, Harry wanted to get his book back, right? So does anybody know what happens next? Like, what did he see when he tried to get his book back from Snape? Does anybody remember? Okay, so let me find it for you guys. Right here. Right here. So he sees Snape, right? With Filch and his Snape's bloody leg, and that was caused by the three-headed dog. Okay. So how do you think not getting his book back, but then also seeing Snape and Filch talk about the three-headed dog, how do you think Harry feels? Like this is right before when he the Quidditch match. Yeah, it's right before the Quidditch match. So how do you think that what he experiences seeing Filch and Snape, how do you feel like how do you think Harry feels during like the start of the Quidditch match? Anybody have any ideas? Okay, it's right in here. Just raise your hand if you know. So how do you think Harry feels in connection with Filch and Snape? Like, how do you think? Because Snape, he didn't even get his book back. So Harry feels terrible, right here. It says Harry feels terrible. Not because like, well, yes, because he's nervous about the game, and he's also didn't get his book back, and also on top of that, Snape and Filch were talking about the three-headed dog, and now they know that Snape wanted to get whatever the three-headed dog is guarding, and that is a bad thing because assuming that the thing they're guarding is really important. Okay, so we have 4 minutes. So if you don't understand like any part of what we read, just you can raise your hand or type it in the chat anytime. Okay, we have a little bit left. Okay, so we ended here. Okay, and then oh yeah, also now everybody knows what a commentary is, right? Okay, James, do you have a question?
Do you know? Do you know? Our home already has a growing avocado seed.
You're growing avocados?
Yeah, but that avocado tree is still in seed. Look, today its head is red. Now it's getting redder.
Oh, okay. So an avocado is getting redder. Shouldn't it be green? Avocado tree.
Avocado seed.
Okay. Okay. It's weird that it's getting red, but okay. Yeah, that's cool. I've never gotten an avocado before. Okay. Thank you for sharing, James. Okay. Back to Harry Potter. So we just got to experience how Harry, I'm assuming this is his first match. I can't remember. Because I haven't read the first book in a long time. Yeah, but he's nervous at the very beginning. That's for sure. He feels terrible. But then he gets a little braver because of his friends, and that just shows how his friendship is with his friends.